Hey everyone, shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm trying to find my phone. Give me one sec. Baby Bunny is taking a nap, and I've been wanting to go live. So if she wakes up, I gotta go tend to her real quick. But she'll wake up, she'll wake up. It won't be too bad. And she's got her snacks and everything. So I wanted to come over here and talk to you guys a little bit. I apologize this morning. We were supposed to have a conversation with one of Suzanne Morphew's friend, and she had an emergency. So hopefully we'll be able to get her later on, if possibly. Hopefully. Eh, Absolutely. You already know Peekaboo. Hey, Lost in Space. How are you guys? Oh my gosh, everybody, come on in. So I'm like, well, let me just have this little live here, and see where everybody's at, how everybody's doing, and then we'll kind of go from there. If I can't get Suzanne's friend today, we might have to push back her reschedule, because am very much intrigued by that case at this point, and it's very interesting stuff happening right now. So shout out to everybody that's coming in. Please hit that like button. Let me hit this intro and get us going right now. Ooh, where did the intro go? Here we go. Alrighty, let's get going. Hey, Polky Dots, can I ask you a question? Are we I know they were in deliberations, but is anybody running a verdict watch right now on Classic and Sincere? Can you let me know in the chat? Can somebody, because I'm looking and I've been keeping up, but because it's not what is it? It's only through recording and you can't stream it. I'm like catching up the replays through Lawyer Maven. Shout out to her. But can you guys let me know if there is an active verdict watch? I don't see anybody playing one. If there isn't, we might have to run one just to kind of support. And I'm totally down to do this. But let me know in the chat if anybody knows if there's a verdict watch right now. Sleuth Mom? Okay, shout out to her. Okay, so there's an active one right now. That's great to hear. Um, Anybody else running a verdict watch that we know of? Because when we had whatchamacallit. Oh, no worries, Chico. It's truly Stargaze. There's a lot happening. So we definitely going to get into some topics, but there were so many verdict watch, Ravallo and Gannon style. I only feel like it's right for us to really have a big verdict watch for this one. She did. Perfect. Okay. Well, Lace and Chains, thank you for the heads up. And definitely make sure you guys support those creators that are bringing attention. I'm not familiar with Sleuthmon, but shout out to her. You have not seen one? Okay. We might run one as well. I don't know. We'll see. Hey Float, how are you? It is a tough case. I'm telling you, I was listening to details and I said, yo, all these cases with these kids, like, thank God, justice for, we have the Vallow case and then we have the Letitia Stout case. So at least we're bringing some justice. Now it's this one. And we definitely we need to make sure that justice is served, right? Let's get into some stuff because we really gonna get into some stuff today. And I posted on my community tab. And I appreciate everybody. I did a little poll and I've had 73 votes. I said, Roxana Ruiz, who is a young Mexican woman, all right, we want to talk about her, killed her rapist. Okay. Would you take justice into your own hands? Take a minute to go and vote right now. Let me know your thoughts. It's right in the community, of our page. Take a minute. I would never forget. Take a minute to go vote and let me know your thoughts. So we're going to talk about Roxana here in a minute. I want us to go over here on this one right now. Newborn boy found dead in heavier than usual hospital trash bag after 19-year-old with lower back pain allegedly locked herself in the bathroom. This one right here is tough, and we got the body cam from Law and Crime. One second, let's see, because Baby Bunny is awake. I told you she's not a heavy sleeper. Let me hit play on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Lexi, I told you about this.
You are detained. You are not free to leave at this point. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. How big is the baby?
It's full term.
What?
So we started working her up. We did a pregnancy test on her, showed positive. She was denying that she had sex. Then she said she had to go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. She was in there for quite a while. We kept knocking on the door. Finally, we got her to open the door, and there was blood everywhere. She was cleaning it up. Okay. So we took her back to the room, and I was afraid that she knew she was pregnant. She had done something to herself. Mm-hmm. So the doctor started doing an exam on her. We had the lady come to clean the bathroom. She put the baby in the trash can, and then she put another clean liner over the top of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it was underneath the clean bag. The baby's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid.
Yeah. How old was the baby?
I don't know. It's full term. She just had it. She had it in the bathroom. Was what happened, and then whatever she did, I don't know. She's gonna lie. She wouldn't tell us she's pregnant. She's been lying the whole time.
Okay.
So that's what's going on. I just pulled the doctor out of the room, so nothing's been said to the patient or the mother that's in there yet.
Okay.
I have Leela, the housekeeper. If you want to interview her,
yeah,
she's the one that kind of found.
Yeah, because I wanted to get with you guys first and then get with her to get her statement before I even do anything.
Well, I'm not.
Yes, trigger warning, guys. Trigger warning. Okay, mama. Yeah, all right, mama. She just woke up from her nap. You're not feeling it right now, mama. Here. You don't want to play the games? Okay. So she basically went into the bathroom. That's how I understand this. Now, one thing I have a question about is very concerning is she lied about being pregnant. Okay. We heard that piece. She lied. And she essentially had the baby in the bathroom, put the baby in the trash, and then put a liner on it. So my thought process was, did that cause the baby's death, or was the baby already deceased beforehand? Because I'm just thinking of maybe the baby suffocated or what would have caused it. Immediately, that's kind of what my mind went to. But, and I'm also listening to the charge nurse too.
The charge, and this is what has happened. Okay. You can interview the nurse that had her.
Okay.
The two nurses that were taking care of her. You can talk to the tech, which is Lori. She's the one that went in there and actually found it because Leo's like, this is really heavy. Okay.
Okay.
So when Lori went in there, and then of course the baby was underneath the clean liner.
Okay, yeah, if we can speak with Lori.
Okay, I'll get Lori and I'll
So-
give you
So, officer, so he's, the first thing though is I need to make sure that the mother, the woman who delivered the baby, is medically stable.
Right.
I don't know if she delivered a placenta. She's bleeding a lot. I just got her accepted to Loveless,
Okay.
so I need to get her up there as soon as possible.
Okay, I'll get you pictures over here right away.
Okay, so how I need to tell her what's going on, and I need to tell the mother what's going. The mother and they're both in there together. Is one of you willing to be present for that conversation? Are you guys going?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go in right
sure.
now and do this.
While we're doing that,
And then I'll make sure Leela comes down, all the other nurses and stuff are here, and I'll get Leela here. Okay. Could you give me a shot? Hey, Marina, will you get Leela back down here? Marina?
I'm wondering how the safe haven laws apply in, because my understanding and nonsense, let me know if you know this a little bit more, but I'm under the impression that the safe haven law applies, like they have to be born within a certain amount of time, and you're like, if you could drop the baby off at like a fire station or a hospital, and just walk away. So that's my understanding of it. In this specific instance, would that a law apply to her, given that this is not a circumstance that's like normal under those circumstances, if that makes sense? So like I'm thinking, I know the safe haven law, like if you have a baby within a certain time frame, depending on what state or county you're at, you would drop the baby off at like a fire station. So there, from there, the fire station or wherever, the firehouse would take the baby, would not ask questions. You could just leave the baby and just go. And they wouldn't ask questions about the situation, and nobody would be charged. There would be no criminal matter to this. Here, you actually have a face to the person. I don't think it would, but I love the fact that Nonsense brought the attention of safe havens, because whether she had the baby at a doctor's office or outside, or you hear these horrific stories of, you have kids that will have their babies in the bathroom, or and I say kids because for her, she's 19, so she wouldn't necessarily, she's 19. Okay, she's technically an adult, but even the mannerism of it, I don't know about you guys, but to me it's like my kids will always be kids, even if they hit 30. That's just my thought process. But how did medical staff know that she was pregnant, especially if she was not full term? Well, she was full term. The baby was full term, Esther. Sorry, I should have said in this situation. I just mean in general. Thank you. Thank you, my love. Because I was like, I don't know if it applies, but I'm appreciative that you said that. Would not apply since that wasn't her intent. So I'm curious, and I know Florida's a nurse. Shout out to all my wonderful nurses in the chat and in the house. Let me keep playing this and let me know your thoughts in the comments.
I'm sorry, there's fire. We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. He came out at me and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this. I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
This part right here kind of got to me, yo. If you have daughters, I mean, I got baby Bunny. I'm like, Lord, I wouldn't want to be in that situation. However, I do have a red flag there that kind of jumped up on me that said, I told you about this. This goes back to, in my opinion, and this is something that you guys, let me know your thoughts, yo. Talk to your kids about sex. Boys and girls, talk to them about, whether it's abstinence or protection or whatever kind of conversation. Normalize that conversation with them, because if your kid gets pregnant, because it does happen, they're going to come to you. Or if they get someone pregnant, they're going to come to you and talk to you about this, right? They're going to have a conversation. Like, to me, it's like my sons, for example, yo, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this, and this is an issue about morality. This is an issue about, you are responsible for the things that happen to your body as you're growing up, right? And whatever things that you get into. I don't ever want to be or see somebody in a situation like this, right? I'm just saying, let me know your thoughts in the comments about this.
It was not crying or nothing.
What did you do to it?
Okay, stop right here. Stop. Number one priority, guys. Number one priority is she just had a baby. I don't know if she's delivered the placenta. She's bleeding significantly.
Yeah.
I've spoken to the obstetrician at Loveless. They want her out there as soon as possible.
Okay.
I need your permission to transfer her for medicals.
She's 19.
Oh, you're right.
But she is a student too.
She's still 19
you're
years old.
right. You're right. She needs to. I'm sorry, I forgot she's 19.
Keep out of me.
But you need to make sure that you're safe. I need to send you to Loveless to labor delivery. Will you please agree to that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm gonna work on that. In terms, I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
I know. But the baby's gonna have to be taken for autopsy and there'll be an investigator and everything. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but we need to do this correctly. And I want to be transparent with you about what our steps are going to be. Okay. Officer, do you guys need to talk to her before we get her transferred?
How long is it gonna be before you have to transfer
I
out?
don't know. What are you working on?
Okay.
Marina, do you think 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, hopefully, yes.
Okay.
I got detectives on the way, so
Okay.
they're gonna be talking to her.
Okay.
Do you guys have, I'm the charge nurse here. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Like how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? 9 months?
Nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
Nothing was crying.
Oh, Lord have mercy, I am muted. Okay, let me tell you guys about this, right? The reason why she's referencing this is there was in Law and Crime, because Law and Crime cited this in their blog as well. There was a similar case of a 19-year-old girl as well who had basically done the same situation, very similar situation to this. And so this is why mom is like, did you hear about this other girl that did the same? Like, why would you do this? And, and clearly and I kind of wonder too, I hate to say it this way because I mean, maybe I'm projecting my own upbringing, but sometimes religion plays a huge role in this. Yeah, she did. Why did she say that? Because even if the baby's not crying, the last thing you would think about would be to, I'm trying to think the thought process here. And I'm almost wondering, and again, this might be my own projection, is because, I've had the cousins, I've had the, you know, that don't say anything, the nieces and nephews that don't say anything about being pregnant, hence no prenatal care. But typically, it's because the relationship is very off in the family. That could happen, or the religious beliefs. Women, especially Hispanic women, it's so crazy to me because I was like, between this story and I'm eating pudding over here too. Okay, mama. Between this story and the story of Roxana, it's like there's a disconnection between a lot of Hispanic women, right? And how we protecting ourselves as well in such situations, speaking out, and women in general. But for whatever reason, I was like, this family is a Hispanic family, you know? And I feel some type of way. Here you are taking your daughter to the doctor, and then you're finding this out, and she's denying being pregnant. Like, what do you do? What do you do?
Any other questions? Okay.
So as of right now, like I said, is we're gonna have the detectives come over here and they're gonna talk to you, okay? we have to gather some more information about what's going on. They'll get your statement. They're going to get the doctor's statements. They're going to get everybody's statements. Okay. So I don't know everything yet. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you. I can't tell you nothing honestly. Okay. All I can
But
say
she's
is
not gonna go to jail.
right now.
No.
Well, right now she's being detained. So she's not going to leave from here at all. Period. Okay. So one of us will
Is
be
it in your custody? Like,
Yeah, she's detained. Yeah, she's not under arrest, but she is
Okay.
detained. Okay, she's not free to leave. So while this whole thing is coming up, is you're not free to leave. Okay, one of us will be in here the whole time with you, because you're not going to try to leave or nothing like that.
she
All right.
won't.
Like I said, the detectives will be here. They're going to talk to you. I mean, your care is of the utmost right now. Okay, they're going to do what they need to do to take care of you to make sure you get stable. They get you transferred out or whatever. Like I said, the detectives are already been notified. They're already on the way, so they're going to come talk to you. All right. So don't leave. Don't try to do nothing. One of us is always going to be in here in this room with you. Okay. Unless we have to step out for doctor's orders or something like that, because they need to examine you or do something with you. But other than that, like I said, you are detained. You are not free to leave at this point. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Where was the baby at?
I don't know. I have no clue yet. Like I said, I just talked to the charge nurse. We're still getting all the information right now.
Okay.
Okay. Once we get that information, like I said, the detectives, they can clue you in on everything and talk to you more about it.
Okay.
All right. Do you happen to have an ID on you, perchance?
Yes, she does.
Okay. Can we get that? All that information. Call it in too. Not on radio. Okay. Hang tight right here. Let her think. Ma'am, could we get your ID also, please?
Yes.
Can we get you?
Yeah.
You have anything called my dear? Sorry.
Can I step out? I'm gonna call my husband.
Yes, yeah, you'll be fine.
I'll be back. Can I go back?
Is that consent ready? Okay, could you do me a favor, run these two, and add to the record call? Okay, it'll be, New Mexico DL, both of them, whenever you're ready.
Where did you put the baby at? Tell me the truth. In there.
517.
It came out of your toilet bag? You put it in the bag?
Yes.
In what bag? Why didn't you say anything to us? Do you want to get in trouble for this now? You could get in trouble for
Mom,
this.
Mom, all right, just give it time, okay? Let me speak to the detectives whenever she's ready, okay? You ready for the second one?
Yeah, we'll call that.
Last three of that second one? The last three of the second one is 333.
You know, one thing I was wondering as like mother's intuition, I wonder if she had a feeling that something was up. Yo, she was 90, the baby was full term. I mean, sometimes it's not even weight gain. Sometimes it's appetite loss. Sometimes, you might notice, menstruation's a little off, like that kind of deal. Like I'm just wondering, right? Like if you're buying your daughter, if they're living in the same household, which I'm assuming so, you're buying your daughter products. She's not asking for any more products, type of deal. I would think that you would start kind of noticing those little things, right? That you're like, something's up. So I'm wondering if mom maybe intuitively felt that way and she might have been in denial about it. Yo, she's 19. Nobody wants to think of their kid being, maybe she's still a kid, right? I'm just saying she was living at home or at school. I don't know. That's a good question. I didn't look into that. I feel sorry for her, and her woman's hormones can make a female do weird things. I think she's definitely really, really scared. I think they both are. If hiding the pregnancy, a lot of people use girdles. True, very true. That's what I'm saying. Infamous, like if you are, unless she's buying her own feminine products, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, I was pretty independent as a kid. What very, very different. So I didn't really depend on my parents to buy me stuff. But maybe that could have been the case. Maybe she had a side job or something like that that would have led to her not needing her parents to support her in those areas. It's a sad symptom of society. Everyone is too busy even see what's going on with their own home work. Exactly. My son's girlfriend was complaining of nausea. First thing I asked was about her menstrual. Florida's like, I'm asking you what's going on. See what I'm saying though, Florida? It's like, it's the fact that your son came to you and told you, right? And that's what I'm saying. It's like we put a lot of ownership on the girls. The girls are the ones that get pregnant. Well, yeah, but it takes two to tango. So if my sons get somebody pregnant, you better I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like if she's not going to tell her mom, my son's going to tell me. And you know what? You better believe I'm going to bust that and say no. We got to go get her some prenatal care, whatever it is. Like and it's crazy because I wasn't brought up that way. We were brought up by typically, culturally, okay? And this is my generation I'm speaking on, not on everybody's, but typically it would be the man that would take the woman, right? Usually she was 15, 16, very, very young. And that is when you live with the boyfriend that is considered married, even though you're not legally married to him, or there not might be like a church ceremony. But if you live with your boyfriend, you're considered to be married, right? And by Hispanic traditions. So very often what happens is the girl will meet her boyfriend, and they might meet and they might fool around and whatnot, and then she gets pregnant and doesn't say anything about it. And then he either steps up to the plate and takes her, okay, and really like they start living together. And it's a very emotional thing, right? Because you have to think about it. This is your kid that you raised, and now she's over there living with the boyfriend. So it's just off. Something's off about this. But at the same time, I also think about the fact that this might be there might be religious factors to this. There might be different things to kind of take into account. Have you seen the show? I didn't know I was pregnant. I did. That's crazy, yo. I've seen a couple episodes here and there, and I'm gonna say that I don't know. I have a hard time with that because it's like, how do you not know you're pregnant? I just don't know. Maybe some people just don't have the chemical makeup for it. I guess I don't know. Like even biology wise, biologically, how do you not know that you're pregnant? Like how did that happen? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like some of those shows are fake. I don't know. Maybe her mom was at the hospital and causing her to feel scared and trapped. Yeah, but this is what I can't kind of get my head around. Intent. What made her want to put the baby in the trash? Like, why was that the thought process? Okay, mama, why that? There could have been a different thing. She could have thought about, taking the baby and said, I'm not going to put it in the trash. I'm just going to lay it on the floor and then walk out. She could have done that too. Right, mama? What happened? Why the trash? And then, in addition to that, put another liner in the trash. That's what I don't understand. Like intent. That's the piece that I'm really struggling with. And I think that maybe she got scared and she felt like, all right, if I put enough bags, it goes away and I don't have to think about it anymore. And I'm not in trouble. And I just, I'm done. I had the baby and nobody ever has to know. Like, but I'm wondering. I'm wondering. My cousin is a doctor and was 7 months pregnant before she realized it. Still, yeah, some people still do. Some people still do. Some people still do very, very, very much. Trace back pain is why she went in there. Oh, scared and ashamed. Yes, Lex, definitely. Definitely. I'm just thinking of like, I don't know. I'm struggling a little bit with this one. I guess I'd have to understand a little bit more. Putting a baby in the trash, it breaks my heart, including the last case of throwing her baby in the dumpster. It's all heartbreaking. This is very heartbreaking to even comprehend. Fight or flight, extreme stressful situations. Right. But I'm just saying, even if she had just, I think where I'm caught is even if she had just put the baby in the trash and didn't put another liner on it, I'm just I'm trying to understand the thought process behind that. But maybe she was very scared. Could be.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, Lexi, I know it's kind of tough right now, okay? I know you're scared on everything that's okay. As of right now, I cannot allow your mom to be here with you, okay? So once the detectives get here, then she may be able to come back in here, but as of right now, I can't allow her to be back in here, okay? If you need something, we're not gonna stay in here, okay? Because I think it makes it worse that we're here anyway, all right, obviously. And I know you're scared. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stay on the outside of the door, okay? As long as you promise me you're not.
Nah, I'm so glad you said that. Me too. A lot of women, oh Lord have mercy. I'm one of my cousins didn't tell anybody that what was going on with her until maybe like her third like cycle type deal. Like yeah, like 3 months on later on the road. I was scared too. I was definitely scared to even say anything. So I definitely understand what you're saying there.
You know, you're not gonna hurt yourself, okay? Like I said, this is a lot. I know it is, okay? You're young, you know, I don't want to be in here kind of adding to your anxiety and everything else, okay? If you need something, just push that button, okay? And then they'll come in there. They're on the way, okay? Okay, so as soon as they get here, they're gonna talk to you. I mean, the reason why your mom, well, not yet. So I can't let you back in here yet. Yeah, once they get here, then it's up to the detectives to get out of them and come back here. If they're okay with her coming back here, then come back here. Okay. The reason why is because you're an adult. You're 19 years old. If you're a juvenile, I would value okay. But when you're an adult, I can't have you. So, if you have any questions, I'd say push that.
Can I go sign some forms?
Yeah.
This is giving us permission to transfer you to wellness, so the jury is gonna take them. You sign here. One more form. This is for the flight crew, is gonna transfer you to that facility, so if you sign the date, today's the 27th. They'll be here for 30 minutes.
Huh?
They're gonna transfer her in 30 minutes.
Okay, I'll let them know. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna be out there. If you need something, let us know. Okay. All right. Let's do this.
Did you ever trust her before she's going?
Oh, I've talked to her about that. We just told her that she can't.
I got you.
Nothing back. I mean, once she gets taken or whatever, then.
I got you. I was just gonna let you know that she's being transferred.
Yeah, no, you
Is that
can.
cool?
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Yeah, very true, very true. I heard she could have been raped or assaulted. We don't really know what the situation is with that. You're right, Bowling with Columbine. I almost said Bowling with Columbine. That is a movie, docuseries. Sorry, Bowling with Cotton Balls. I don't judge these situations with young ladies. Very true. I mean, it's just hard in both ways to even kind of comprehend because it's like I don't. All I know is that like this girl was in denial from the time that she went to the hospital to the nurses to the pregnancy test. I think even to the blood test, she was denying everything. So it's hard. I was the same way. My mom was very abusive, so I totally afraid of her. Not the way my daughter. I taught my daughter how to use tampons. I physically helped her. I mean, it's just so hard. Um, I don't know. And then some of you guys are saying, well, if I got pregnant, they told me not to come home. Like that's another thing too. The unfortunate situation is you have a baby that was full term that is no longer here, right? Um, but I just think about the various circumstances that one could have been preventable and avoided, by having these conversations more at home. And it's just something that kind of reminded me. I was like, damn, this is some tough stuff right there. As far as that whole situation there. And I don't know. I might look into it a little bit more. I'm kind of like on the fence on this one because it just brings up a little bit of kind of my own upbringing and not to try to counter transference that at all. I honestly can't even imagine giving birth alone. I know nonsense. Can you imagine? I mean, the pain, How did all of that? And then acting like nothing's going on? I know, Mama. Okay, well, whatever. Here, do you want to watch your Teletubbies? Baby Bunny, do you have something to say? Are you mad? What are you mad about? Okay. She's mad right now, guys. She's mad. I don't know why. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hold on, I'm looking at this comment. She's probably afraid of Dad's reaction to. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In so many ways. So I want to talk about this story right here of Roxana Ruiz, who strangled her arpist, okay, sentenced to 6 years in prison. And then these activists slammed decision. I believe they're slamming the decision of the sentencing. Okay, Mexico, this is just my opinion, doesn't do very well in protecting women. This is why we have Las Muertas de Juarez and we have all this situation with women. Women are not valued in Mexico. It is very difficult to be a woman there and get any kind of justice. I mean, we see it around all the time. You got the Shanquella Robinson situation as well. Tragic all around. So I said, you in various states, right? If something is self-defense, I don't think there's any measures to say, well, this is, she killed him. It's self-defense. Okay, that I thought that was a level of protection for us. In Mexico, it's a little bit different. It sounds like there's like reasonable self-defense that needs to be considered. Let me play this and let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Roxana, eres valiente, no una delincuente. Roxana, eres valiente, no una delincuente.
So she has been sentenced to 6 years. They are outside protesting the jail cell, saying, Roxana, you are brave, not a delinquent. Basically, kind of chanting that in support of her. All right. So I guess let me know your thoughts in the comments about this, because it's like, it's crazy to me how the laws work in Mexico. I mean, clearly is a little bit different, but the article reads that a young woman mom who strangled a man with a t-shirt after he raped her has been convicted in his killing and sentenced to more than 6 years in prison. Okay? In a case that sparked protests and backlash in the country. The Mexico State Court found Monday that while Roxana Ruiz had been raped, she was guilty of homicide with excessive use of legitimate defense. What is excessive use of legitimate defense? And how does that feel? That feels like a bit of a, what's the word, an oxymoron? Excessive use of legitimate defense? I don't know about those. I don't know if it's a translation that throws me off. Okay, Mama. So, I know. So, adding that hitting her attacker in the head would have been enough to defend her. Well, Layla, not everybody does feel that. I mean, she's been sentenced to 6 years. Okay, for the murder of her rapist. This crazy, yo. Somebody tagged me on Twitter about it, and I was like, I gotta talk about it because I kind of want to know what everybody's thoughts are in the matter of this. Okay. Here, there you go. Let me see what everybody thought. Yeah, you. It's a lot of people that are saying that too, Chico. No, I don't think it could come be, and that's a great question. Like, was it in the act? I don't think so. I think she just decided to off him because he had done it to her. At least that's how I'm reading this. It says right here that the young mom who strangled a man with the t-shirt after he had raped her has been convicted in his killing and sentenced to more than 6 years in prison in a case that sparked protests and backlash in the country. So it sounds like she might have like because it even says here that excessive use of a legitimate defense, adding that hitting her attacker in the head would have been enough to defend her. So I guess their thought process is you killed him when all you needed to do was to defend yourself, and he had already raped her, basically. So she took justice with it, to her own hands. That's how I'm reading that. She took justice. So the lawyers slammed the ruling as discriminatory and vowed to appeal, arguing that a set of bad precedents is in a country plagued with and there's a lot of gender-based violence in Mexico. It is very dangerous, I repeat, to be a woman in Mexico. There is no fairness, there is no equality, there is nothing of a sort in Mexico. I stand by that. Somebody prove me wrong, because it's very true. It's sending a message to women that, you know what, the laws say you can defend yourself, but to a point, said Ángel Carrera Ruiz, defense attorney. He raped you, but you don't have the right to do anything. Well, if he raped and it's not in the act, does he have the right to did she have the right to kill? It is really scary. Yes, she did. She interviewed. She did. I know. Strangled him with the t-shirt. He was drunk because he overpowered her during the essay. How would she overpower him? I would think only if I don't know. Infamous. That's a great question, though, but I really don't know. Didn't we have a case in the U.S. where the girl killed her pimp and then she went to prison? Yes, Bowling, we did. And I believe that's the one. Wasn't that the one that Kim Kardashian was like fighting or trying to use her lawyer skills for? I don't know. So on top of the prison sentence for 6 years and 2 months, a 23-year-old single mother was also ordered to pay more than $16,000 in restitution to the family of the man who raped her. Outside the courtroom, supporters carried signs chanting justice. A tearful Ruiz stood before the crowd, thanking feminist groups, those who have supported her through the year-long judicial process. Speaking to the crowd, she said she was thinking of her 4-year-old son. My son, I hope to see again. I hope to stay with him, to be the one who watches him grow. Yo. So now she has to pay the rapist family. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not going to lie. Yes, it is infuriating. Right. Right, Belinda. It's a little, shout out to Sakina. It's a little sketchy here also. A lot of women, I missed your comment. A lot of women's victims' rights have been rolled back since the 1980s when I was working at the Grape Crisis Center. It is absolutely disgusting. No, it's not right. Yeah, so he gets restitution. I mean, look, maybe here's the deal. This is what gets me about Mexico, yo. I'm be very honest. And I'm not justifying a murder, but I am just going to say this. If I leave my justice to the hands, and the man is always going to win based on some of these gender stuff that goes on in Mexico, how men are preferred over women, right? What makes me think that they're going to take my case serious? He could have gotten away. What about the restitution that he owes me and my pain had he not been killed? Yeah, right. You guys see the BS? I cannot. I'm like thoroughly upset over this, you guys. It is fucked up. Like, don't get me wrong. Should she have taken justice to her own hands? Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, chosen high priestess, on that one. Could not. I definitely agree with you more. We need more communication. But the reality is this: is women are not valued in Mexico. They're not. Women are killed every day. There's so much corruption, and the chances of anybody getting justice is like slim to none. It is not an advantage to be a woman in Mexico. So for me, it's like, no, do I feel like she, should have taken it to her hands? Probably not. But like, to also say that she has to pay the family too, his family? Oh my gosh, Belinda. Wow. This is horrifying. It could be even a thing that she's ordered to pay the family. I know, right? Nonsense. Police didn't even care about what happened to me when I was young and pregnant. I'm so sorry, Infamous. I know these stories are such like downers. So I wanted to kind of bring this one to you. Wim, I mean, I just don't know if she should be charged. I don't know. Like, I'm conflicted. I'm not going to be lie to you guys. I am very conflicted about this whole story. Because part of me feels like, well, he raped her. She was in. Okay, it wasn't in the action that she killed him. She killed him after the fact. But at the same time, Mexico doesn't guarantee me any justice. Femicide is a really dark. Absolutely, and it's called femicide. You guys got to look at because they believe in femicide as a crime, right? Um, you have to look at the percentages of cases that are charged under femicide. There's always a loophole. People always get away with ish. I just don't even know what. And what infuriates me, it is a tough one, Ellie. This one is a tough one. What makes me upset is now she has to pay restitution. In addition to 6 years in prison after being raped by this man, she has to pay restitution. I have a problem with that. That's horrible. Uh, I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I feel some type of way. But let me know your thoughts about the situation. I did Infamous. I just read it earlier. Um, I don't know. I don't know. So you guys make sure you have open communication in your families about, sex, and especially when they get older, get away from these, you know, key, words. What is it? The baby words that we use for body parts. Try to get a little bit closer to using the accurate words. That's one thing I learned about human sexuality, especially in grad school. That there's a good correlation between percentages of rape, and then and familial stuff that happens too, because stuff happens in the family too. Something that we have to recognize as well and have more communication about as a society. If we are to stop any type of trends within the family, especially harmful, hurtful ones that affect our mental health illnesses, that affect us as members of society. We have to start within our own family. Start within your own family, and no family is perfect. We all have our faults. There is no such thing as a perfect Brady Bunch. The what is it? The Cosbys, these perfect families that are out there. I'm telling you, there's dysfunction everywhere. And sometimes before you start looking at somebody else's dysfunction, look at your own, because it's pretty big. It can be. You got to pay attention to what you have in your house, in your fridge, what's living in you. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. I will probably be live later. I'm gonna check in to see if Suzanne Morphew's friend is gonna be coming up or not, and kind of what we're gonna do, because I really do want to talk to her, and we will go from there. Rabbits out.